Radio.
You're listening to Cryptocurrent, the only podcast that explores the bold projects, exciting opportunities, and the growing reach of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Whether you've got skin in the game or you're just crypto curious, keep an open mind, enjoy the conversation, and stay cryptocurrent. Now here's your host, Richard Carthon.
Today's episode is brought to you by Cryptotrader Tax. Crypto taxes done in minutes. Cryptotrader Tax is the simplest and most reliable crypto tax software and calculator. File your cryptocurrency taxes with ease. Cryptotrader Tax takes away the pain of preparing your Bitcoin and crypto taxes. Simply connect your exchanges, import your trades, and download your tax report in minutes. For more information, go to Cryptotrader.tax. And now for today's episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cryptocurrent. Your host here, Richard Carthon. And today I got a very special guest. We got David Kemmerer all the way out in Minnesota right now, but technically lives in Austin where I am. So we're definitely going to connect after all of this COVID stuff is done with, and very excited to learn more about his amazing company and project that he has. It's Cryptotrader.tax. David, how are you doing today?
No, I'm doing good. Yeah. Not in Austin right now, just because I've been back up in Minnesota, which is where I'm originally from, for a while, seeing some friends while all the craziness goes on. But I'll be back, so we'll definitely have to connect. And thanks for having me on.
Of course. We're definitely excited to learn more about what you have going on. And I mean, it's very well needed, especially with everything that's going on and people not really knowing what to do. But before we dive into your company, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us some background.
Sure. So background about me. I grew up, like I said, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Went to school at Wisconsin, studied finance, marketing over there. And then have always kind of had the entrepreneurial bug, if you will, which I think you see often with founders. You know, I've always had the side hustles and stuff, and started a couple of companies before Cryptotrader.tax. But, in 2017, when the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin wave really hit that first time, and, it seemed to be everywhere, that's when I really got interested in the space and started thinking, I was seeing the wave of adoption that just so many people were coming into space. I was like, hey, what can I build to service these people, right? I don't want to try to get rich mining, gold, but I want to be selling the jeans and the pickaxes to the rich people. And
100%.
So myself and my two partners actually ran into the tax reporting problem that exists. And really, it's just, it gets hard to report your capital gains and capital losses on trades, especially if you have any sort of high volume. And so we decided, hey, tax reporting software, it's, that jeans pickaxe tool that a lot of people are going to need. Let's build an idea around that. And so that's how we got started. It's a little bit about my background, I guess. But I'm a sales and marketing guy. So I'm not a developer.
No, nothing wrong with that. And we're well needed in this world. Trust me. We make the world go around for sure. But I know that you said around 2017 is when you started paying attention. But did you have any earlier interactions with it? Like, what was your first introduction into the space?
Yeah. So the first time I heard about Bitcoin was when a group of my friends were using it to buy fake IDs in college.
No way.
And I didn't know what it was back then, but I just remember that's what we were having to use to do that.
Do you remember what year that was?
So that would have been 2013.
All right. And it's pretty early.
Yeah.
Awesome. 2013.
But like I said, I didn't really actually do anything or learn anything about it, right? I just knew of it, right? I could have told you what Bitcoin was back then. But then, with the wave of 2017 and Bitcoin going up to 20 grand and everyone thinking, this is how we're going to get rich. Then I really paid way more attention to it and actually went down the rabbit hole of learning about Ethereum, everything going on in the space. And that was really interesting to me.
For sure. So, 2017, of course, you have the wave that rides up. And then, of course, we've seen a decline and now back up. It's been an entire wave. And so y'all come together, you and your co-founders, you make Cryptotrader, Cryptotrader.tax. Tell us about what that is and How are people beginning to utilize it?
Yeah. I know the name's a mouthful. Like I was talking to you before, my co-founder, Lucas, came up with that name really before I was really on board.
Yeah.
And we just stuck with it. So Cryptotrader Tax, it's a mouthful. Now remind me again, sorry, the question was kind of how did it get going? Or?
Yeah. So give me your origin story, like, where'd the concept come from, and then how'd you get it out there?
Yeah. So like I said, so in 2017, I was fascinated by the space, saw just literally thousands of people like coming into this ecosystem. So that perks my ears up from like a business development type thing. It's like, okay, there's definitely tools that can service all of these people who are coming into the space, right? And so to start to just learning the space, I actually and my brother started building market making bots on Binance. And so what these are, right? Market making strategy is really you're just trying to trade the spread of these assets, right? If I'm trying to get 5% as this volatility happens. And so we were trying to build software to, automate these trading strategies for us. And back then there was no software really off the shelf to do this. Right now, there's so many tools that can automate even your trading for you. And so this points to, again, that there was this opportunity to build infrastructure and these tools for these traders and all these people getting into this space. Anyways, in doing that market making stuff, we racked up thousands of trades. And once tax season rolled around, I somehow found out that crypto to crypto trades were considered a taxable event. And what that means is that you just need to be calculating your capital gain or loss for every transaction. And here's the kicker, in US dollar terms, right? And as you know, on these exchanges, nothing's quoted in USD, right? Everything's quoted in another cryptocurrency.
Everything's a pair.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I mean, immediately I was like, oh, we have this huge reporting problem. Like, there's no way we're going to be legally reporting this. How am I supposed to go back for like thousands of trades and calculate each one of these? And so that's what made me aware of the problem. Flash forward a couple months later, I actually met both of my co-founders, Lucas and Mitchell, who at the time were trying to start cryptocurrency tax software. And because I had the problem, like, oh, that's a great idea. We could automate this whole thing by just essentially having a database of all the historical prices of every crypto ever. And then the database, right, it just pulls those prices so that it immediately calculates your gains and losses kind of automatically. So that's how it got going. And then we were just heads down to the races after that.
Yeah. And I mean, very smart and crucial point that a lot of people, I don't think, and this holds true especially well for traders in the space, you don't really realize how many transactions that you're doing all the time. And then to be able to get your cost basis, to be able to understand like where each of those were without doing the pair. I ran into a couple of people who like sat down with an accountant for months, just trying to map all of that out and spending a lot of money just to cover their butt. Right.
Yeah, I know exactly. And then it gets even worse if you're on multiple exchanges, because then you're transferring coins and then the exchange's history isn't even enough for you to sell through it right now. You have to start trying to combine both of your trade histories from your multiple exchanges and wallets and whatnot. And it gets to be you just cannot do it if you have high volume of trades without software. Like you can't.
Right. Absolutely. So you fast forward, y'all been able to build out this product. Tell us about some of your users. Like, who's your ideal user? Who's this for? Like, how are they been able to use it? Give us some information on that. Yeah.
So like the ideal user is like a trader, right? Someone who does have some type of volume of trades, right? If you just have like one or two, it's not a problem to like calculate the gain or loss on, when you sold your one Bitcoin that you bought. But for the folks who have, anything above like 20 even is getting to be a lot to do by hand. And so our target persona is someone who's actively in the cryptocurrency space, right? They're trading on multiple exchanges. And they want to be reporting their taxes, right? We're not trying to go and crusade and be like, hey, pay your taxes. The people who want to be staying in line with the law, they find us. And so, to date, we have over, 30,000 people around the globe who calculate their taxes.
It's awesome. So this is for international as well. So any and everyone can come and utilize this resource.
Yeah, exactly. And to an extent, right? So our platform supports any fiat currency. So you can go and calculate your gain or loss in any fiat currency, British pound, Australian dollar, US dollar, euro, whatever it is. But we really cater to the US in terms of we auto populate your tax forms that you actually need for the IRS here. And we're rolling that part of it out to multiple countries. But in the sense of just doing gains and losses calculations, we support any fiat currency. In taking a step further in supporting the specific forms and whatnot that are required by the specific governments. Right now we support the United States, Australia, and we're quickly rolling out to Canada and the UK.
That's awesome. That's powerful, man. So with building all this, it's basically been a 3-year journey. You've been through the ups and downs. And I mean, regardless whether the market's going up or down, people are going to have their taxes. That's going to be consistent forever. How has building this company through the roller coaster that has been the market for the last several years, how's that journey been?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, right? Playing out, building company, it's really hard, right? Yeah. And the people who have grit and can just roll with the punches are going to win in the long term, right? Because if you can just stay in the game for the longest period possible, good things are going to come. Yes. I guess that's my one piece of advice. But in terms of how's it been, like you said, it's been good because we are removed from the ups and downs of crypto. Because like you said, our marketing just changes depending on what's going on in the market. If the market's down, we say, hey, you can write off all your losses on your taxes. Just pay taxes with us. And if the market's up, it's like, hey, good job. You made a ton of money. Now cover your ass and make sure you're in good graces with the IRS. Just file your taxes, right? And so our marketing flip-flops depending on what's going on in the market. But yeah, whatever the market's doing, we're still growing because of that.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I'm sure you've been able to meet all kinds of people within this, and being in the space for the last 3 years, you've seen all kinds of incredible projects that are going on in the crypto blockchain space. What are some that has your attention right now that you're watching?
Yeah. So we do get kind of a bird's eye view because tens of thousands of people import all of their transaction history across every type of platform, right? We support exchanges, wallets, DeFi platforms, just everything, right? And so we get to see kind of what's popular in the moment. Right. And right now, I mean, the world of lending, margin trading, anything to do with interest, right? Which all ties into the fueled margin trading, is blowing up right now. So companies that I'm watching closely, like BlockFi, right? Everyone knows them, it seems like, but they're doing such a good job. I just read an article that they might be going to IPO here. By the end of the year, which is crazy.
We actually had one of the co-founders on here, Flory, come on the show.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I've heard she's awesome. I know their head of marketing and have spoken to Zach before. But yeah, awesome company. So anything in that space, right, where they're replicating the bank almost, just building in crypto, right? Interest accounts, lending. That's just growing so fast. And it's fueled by the people who want to be trading on margin, right? Yeah. So as more and more derivative cryptocurrency exchanges like, Bybit, Deribit, BitMEX, or all these margin products, Kraken has the big margin exchange. As more and more people want to use that, the lending markets have to develop because if you're shorting, right, you have to give the asset to the person.
Right.
Right, because you're selling it. And so as we see more and more margin exchanges and just the demand for that continue to rise, on the flip side, the amount of interest you can make lending your crypto continues to grow. And so that's why we're seeing BlockFi, Celsius, all this DeFi world just go crazy, and it's fueled by this margin.
And that's awesome. And I mean, I think that's a really great point of just saying the circle of how everything kind of fuels itself and fuels each other. And it's very cohesive marketplace where you're seeing a lot of businesses kind of feed on top of each other and just creating this ecosystem, which is also opening the door to institutional money eventually going to enter the space, which then I think is the first inception point into mass adoption, because I believe as more money enters the space, you're going to see more and more people wanting to get in. So, I mean, even news with PayPal getting ready to try to find a way to get all of their, to get crypto involved. So that means anyone that has Venmo, now you can potentially start buying crypto. That's huge. I mean, the fact that you even have things of social media, like TikTok, and like they're all saying, and I am not. So again, everyone listening, you know this already, but this is not financial advice. We're not going to tell you what to get in XYZ. But there was, of course, this whole explosion of Dogecoin out of nowhere, and all because it was trending on TikTok. And then next thing you know, you see it skyrocket, and now it's skyrocketing back down. But like the whole point being is that as more and more people are paying attention to this space, there's just so much opportunity for people to get involved. And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I love your point about how like the ecosystem fuels itself, because you're exactly right. Like as this margin stuff gets more and more popular, we naturally get more and more popular because people need to be reporting the interest income on those loans that they're getting, right? And then as that happens, right, just more and more infrastructure gets built out as this mechanism continues to work. And so, yeah, like another to your question, how's it been through the ups and downs? That's another thing. Like, I'm not someone who like is a gung-ho, like crypto is going to be the future. Like I'm still like very much like, I don't know. I'm going to be here for the ride. Yeah. But seeing stuff like that, right, where you see the ecosystem just continue to evolve, that does make me very bullish on the space. Still, the question is what's going to be like the killer use case of crypto? Because what's fueled it to this point, really, like you have to be honest, it is just speculation. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's fine that, that got it really far, but at some point it's going to have to evolve into more use cases. And so I'm excited for that. Like it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Absolutely. And there's just so much opportunity in this space. And on those lines, I mean, 2020 has been an absolutely interesting year to say the least. A lot has happened that has put, I think, crypto more into the spotlight than what I think it would have gotten probably in the next 5 years. What are some things on the either immediate to like near future that you think people should be paying attention to in this space?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I really think pay attention to the lending space and everything that ties to that, right? Kind of like we're getting it. It all ties together, right? It's the margin, the derivative products, they all need this lending. And so, I mean, I'm watching that closely. We'll be building products to support all of those platforms.
Right.
What else? What else is interesting? I mean, I think the Ethereum concept is very interesting, right? So I'm watching what Vitalik and the team are doing with, I think it's right, the Ethereum 2.0, and just getting scalability on the Ethereum platform to enable more apps to be developed decentralized, right? And we're seeing it, it's doing well, but you do just constantly see and you hear that people are limited just with the amount of throughput that can happen on the blockchain. So scalability at the blockchain level, right, is going to be important for just like new concepts to be able to be built out. Yeah, I mean, you could talk about this subject for a long time, right? Like what's excited about the space. I'm also excited about PayPal and Venmo coming in. Like that's so good for us. Yes. Right? Just the more easy access to it that people have. I mean, the better it is for us because more people are incurring taxable events. And so at some point they'll have to do their taxes. But yeah, like I'm very bullish in crypto in general. Do I know which coin is going to like go up? No, but like the space is doing well. Yes,
absolutely. And I mean, going back to the scalability, that's one of the things I try to drive home to people is that when you think about like what made I make a lot of correlations between cryptocurrency and the internet. Right. And in the first phase of the internet, when nobody was paying attention, like, oh, this thing, people were building the infrastructure, people were building the groundwork. And right now we're still seeing that done. And the scalability is one of the biggest issues in blockchain right now, but it will be solved. It will be fixed. And whoever cracks that nut, and I think Ethereum has the best chance at this moment to crack that nut. And then as soon as it is cracked and people have like the solution of here's how you do it, people are going to take that playbook and make it so much better. And then it's just going to keep building on top of itself and just keep getting better and better and better. So like, I think that is going to be the secret sauce to like really help explosion happen in this space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it's so fascinating drawing the comparisons to the internet, right? You hear that a lot and it's so relevant because things do take time, right? And you know, in the modern day of like the communication channels that we have through social and just everything, like you see it way faster. And so people are like, well, why isn't it happening quickly? It's like, well, you forget that the internet took, a decade to like reach mass consumer adoption, right? And they were building infrastructure for a long, long time. They're literally like laying cables to like get the internet to people's houses and whatnot.
Right.
And so I think you can draw parallels to the space like a lot.
Definitely. Well, you have given us a lot to think about between everything from the loaning space to, of course, doing your taxes with Cryptotrader Tax. Yes, I got the name right, and it's starting to flow a little bit better. And you dropped a lot of great knowledge on us. What is a final thought that you want to leave with all of our listeners here today?
Final thought. So I'm guessing, so your audience is obviously very crypto focused. I'm guessing they're also probably fairly like entrepreneurial. And that's the bucket that I fall into a lot, right? So final thought is there's so much opportunity in the space. If you're interested, stake your land now, because like there's no better time to build in this space, whether it's producing content, whether it's, educating people, whether it's creating your own product or service in the space. These frontier markets is always a great place to go build, because there's always so many problems, so many new things happening so fast that there's just so many companies that can be built. And so that's the final thought, right? If you're interested in starting a company or just doing some type of side hustle, I do think this is one of the best industries to do it in, because there's so many problems in the space that need to be solved.
Absolutely. And I definitely appreciate that final thought. And I also want to drive home that there's just so much opportunity in this space that even if you don't want to create your own thing, there are jobs in this space right now. Yeah. There are a lot of people who are growing quickly, are raising money, and like are building. They're trying to find great quality talent in this niche space. And a lot of people aren't necessarily paying attention to it. So basically you could come and join a company who's working on a great thing, have a really good opportunity, and grow in this space as well. So definitely want to co-sign and say, hey, this is a great space to be in. Don't wait. Just dive on in, find something that you're interested in, and just go for it. So I really do appreciate that final thought. But David, what are some ways that people can connect with you and learn more about you and learn more about your company? Yeah.
The easiest way is just go to Cryptotrader.tax. So not .com, but .tax. And then, everything's available there. We have live chat support agents all the time. If you have any tax questions, we're happy to answer them for free. But if you want to just connect with me, Twitter, just at David, I think _Kemmerer is what it is the second best way. But I'm pretty easy to get a hold of.
Awesome. Well, again, really appreciate you and appreciate your time. And for everyone listening, stay cryptocurrent. Hi, everyone. Thanks for listening to another episode of Cryptocurrent. For more information on this episode and all of our episodes, please visit us at www.crypto-current.co. Stay up to date with the latest news in cryptocurrency. You'll receive daily emails Monday through Friday that are personalized and curated content specific to you and your interest, powered by artificial intelligence. Are you an accredited investor looking to invest in cryptocurrency? Crescent City Capital can help. Go to crescentcitycapital.com for more information. If you're finding value in our content, please take 5 minutes to leave a 5-star review and a great comment. Also, please make sure to share this podcast with others. Check out our partners at You Today, where you can watch interviews with top influencers, check out short-term and long-term crypto analysis daily, and be aware of the latest in crypto news. For more information, go to you.today. Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the quality of this podcast. I can only thank my amazing producer, Andrew DeRitter, with DeRitter Productions, who has put this together. If you have any podcast, visual, or video needs, please go to DeRitterProductions.com. That's DERITTER Productions.com.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cryptocurrent with Richard Carthon. We'll be back with more exciting developments from the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency next week. But until then, stay cryptocurrent.
Please use available.